If I had to pick the number one silent killer of our productivity and the biggest thing that holds people back from being as productive as they can possibly be, that would be your own brain and its desire to keep you safe. Now, all of us struggle with procrastination from time to time. In fact, in many cases, our procrastination is simply a symptom of fear, whether it be fear of failure, being concerned we won't live up to expectations or produce good enough work, or even if it's just a task that's outside of our comfort zone. We'll rationalize reason after reason, but fear is almost always at the root cause. Now, when we find ourselves being busy without really moving forward, it's often because we're avoiding that most important task, but it's a task that makes us uncomfortable or something we're scared of. Now, I start with this silent killer first because it's critical to understand how your brain's designed. You see, we're all biologically wired for fear and to have a desire to stay within our comfort zone and to keep us safe. That's our brain's number one goal, is to keep us safe from harm. And it's served us well over thousands of years, keeping our ancestors alive long enough so that you and I are here living and breathing today. But here's the thing. In the 21st century, especially for you and me, we're no longer living in the jungle, dodging wild animals on a daily basis for our survival. But it's not just physical harm that your brain is trying to protect you from. It's also emotional harm. In fact, in many studies, the fear of public speaking ranks higher than even the fear of death. And as Jerry Seinfeld once said, that means at a funeral, more people would rather be in the casket than actually given the eulogy. But because our brain doesn't distinguish the difference between physical or emotional harm, it wants to avoid both. Now, this is a foundational principle that you must understand before we move forward. Your brain's doing its job when it tries to keep you from rejection or unpleasant experiences. It does this automatically, but you have to take control and override those subconscious warning signals. Courage is not the absence of fear, it's the willingness to act in spite of fear. And every single time you move through your fear, you further inoculate yourself from the fear that holds you back. It builds habits just like with anything else. So start today. When your brain does its best to protect you and throws up those warning signals and tries to have you take the path of least resistance and procrastinate, decide whether or not you actually need the protection. You have the power to move past those signals of fear and push right through it.